Welcome to the CPGGUYS podcast. Your hosts, Sri Rajagopalan and Peter V.S. Bond, explore how brands and retailers engage consumers in an increasingly digitally driven world. And now, here are the CPGGUYS. Hello, and welcome to a very special episode of the CPGGUYS podcast. I am your co-host, PVSB, when I'm not podcasting. I also serve as head of industry and client engagement at Flywheel, the e-commerce accelerator division of the global advertising holding company, Omnicom. As always, I'm joined by my co-conspirator, my co-creator, my co-founder, and my BFF. He is the patriarch of the Raj family media empire, which includes his performing artist daughters, Ria and Laura being a member of Cat's Eye, and of course his wife, Kavita, who co-hosts the Lights, Camera, Conversation podcast on iHeartRadio, lest we forget his three cats and their incredible Instagram following, which just absolutely overshadows anything the CPGGUYS have done on a platform other than LinkedIn. He's the man known as Sri. Sri, how are you, man? What's going on?
Doing awesome. I'm eagerly looking forward to this episode because we do this once a year. We recognize who's who kind of from a Hall of Fame perspective, those that have really stepped up and delivered for the industry. So take it away, Peter. Tell us, what do we got going on and who are we talking to today?
Yeah. This is our annual Omnies Hall of Fame Omnichannel episode. So as you mentioned, Sri, we're recognizing industry luminaries who have elevated the game around Omnichannel in their business activities, not just during the year. This is a lifelong recognition. Last year, we awarded the first two, one to Diana Hosling from Colgate-Palmolive, the other from Christy Argelin, who's now actually at Uber. And we have four recipients this year. We're trying to outdo last year, Sri. That doesn't mean we have to do 8 next year, but this year we're going to do 4. And we've got 4 very worthy winners of this award. We're going to speak with each of them in this episode. Before I make mention of who they are, I'll just say to our audience, please, if you follow us on and subscribe to us on Apple or Spotify, please leave us a rating. It helps people find us, it feeds the algorithm, and write a review so we know what you like and what you don't like. It'll help us guide the direction of this program. We also encourage you to listen to our sister podcasts, FMCGGUYS over in Europe and CPG Scoop here in the United States. You can find links to our sister podcasts, the social media profiles of the Raj family media empire, certainly our podcast, and a couple other things I'll make mention in the notes. You're all aware of Sri and how he was affected by the fires in LA. We're going to have a couple of charities, links to their contribution pages in the digital liner notes. If you don't like them, find ones that you think are worthy, but please do give. I know, Sri, you've been very active dropping off liquid to fire department locations in LA to help the firefighters who are just tirelessly trying to get these things under control. But it's very important. So we're going to have links to those in the digital liner notes of this episode. But with that, I'll just say the 4 people that we recognized, they should be familiar to you because they've been on the podcast in the past. Let's start first with Tonya Douglas. She's SVP of Omnichannel Merchandising at Giant Food Stores in Landover, Maryland. Doug Jossem, he's head of food category for Walmart Connect. We've got Cely Moreno from PepsiCo, and last but certainly not least, our dear friend Cara Pratt, Senior Vice President for Kroger Precision Marketing at 8451. We have some brief conversations, which each of them, we were so honored to be able to bestow these awards upon them for their lifetime achievements in Omnichannel. We hope you enjoy the conversation that we have with each of them. Thank you. Here, now we go to our conversations. Hi, this is PVSB with the CPG guys. I'm here in Landover, Maryland, and I'm being joined by James Hunt, Senior Vice President, North America Retail at NielsenIQ. James, how are you?
Great. Thank you very much. And welcome to everybody on your podcast out there.
Well, we're here in Maryland for a reason. It's part of the 2024 CPGGUYS Omnichannel Hall of Fame Awards. We're here to award one of these awards to a very worthy person. She's been a guest on the podcast before. I've interacted with her quite a number of times, both on the podcast at Cornell and down at FMI. And we are very pleased that one of this year's winners is Tonya Douglas, who is Senior Vice President, Omnichannel Merchandising at Giant Food, part of Ahold Delhaize USA. Tonya, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you so much for having me today.
We are so honored to be able to give this award to you to recognize all the contributions that you've made in Omnichannel. This is the second year we've done it. We've expanded from 2 to 3 people this year, and you're one of our three winners this year. So we're so excited to be able to talk to you today.
Thank you. I'm truly, truly honored that you would select me. I just feel like I just go about my normal day, and then to get these to pop up, just truly, truly, I'm humbled.
Well, we're very happy to be able to talk to you today. So wanted to include some commentary in our podcast to recognize this. James and I have a couple of questions for you,
Great.
And we'd love to hear your thoughts on this. This award is really about the leadership you've demonstrated throughout your career professionally. Would love to hear from you. What are the principles that you've anchored on that serve you well in leading the different roles you've had throughout your career?
Throughout my career, I've anchored my leadership on several key principles. Leading with empathy and accountability, to me, is fundamental. It's crucial to truly understand the perspectives of others while taking ownership of our own decisions. Authenticity is another cornerstone of my approach. Being genuine helps to build trust and fosters strong team dynamics where everyone is valued and heard. Integrity is a non-negotiable. I consistently strive to ensure my actions reflect our core values here at Giant Food. And clear communication is vital to make sure everyone is aligned and working towards shared goals. I prioritize setting clear objectives to guide our efforts and inspire my team through collaboration and really celebrating our collective achievements. And lastly, for me, my commitment to continuous learning keeps me adaptable and informed and allowing me to stay relevant in our fast-paced industry.
Thank you. James?
Yeah. So Tonya, just continuing on with the leadership component, we're curious to hear about how did you embrace omnichannel leadership, and also how do you keep up with the learnings given all the rapid changes in our industry?
So embracing omnichannel leadership means creating an environment where our customers can shop seamlessly, whether it's online or in store. It's really essential to understand that their shopping experience should be fluid, regardless of the channel they choose to shop. To stay ahead of this dynamic landscape, I've leveraged consumer and customer data, which really informs our strategies. I also prioritize my education through various mediums, such as podcasts, just like the CPGGUYS, books, industry articles, so I can really stay on top of the emerging trends. Engaging with fellow leaders and mentors is also invaluable, and really engaging with my multi-generational team. That this diversity of insights enriches our collective understanding and really ensures we're making informed decisions that will resonate with our customers.
Brilliant. So thinking about moving from merchandising into omnichannel, would love to hear your advice that you would give to others in this space on how people with a traditional merchandising background can start to partner with digital leaders to create a truly effective omni-channel leadership strategy?
I think my advice to others in this space is you have to embrace change wholeheartedly. The merchandising landscape has transformed, and we now have access to extensive data that can inform our decision-making process. Our competitive landscape has expanded dramatically as our customers have more choices of where, how, and when to shop. And additionally, our communication channels with customers have truly diversified. And our workforce spans 5 generations now for the first time in history. So each of those contributes a very unique perspective. So this environment can slow down your decision making if you're not managing it effectively. So by collaborating super closely with those digital experts, we can ensure our strategies are executable across all the channels, which enhances our leadership effectiveness and allows us to respond quickly to all the market shifts.
Great.
Wonderful. And so you've talked a lot about the different components within the leadership. Can you tell our audience about a Giant and the retail leadership and what we can expect from you folks in the industry going into 2025?
Yeah. At Giant Food, we're dedicated to bringing our employee value proposition to life through our associates with ongoing learning and development. Looking ahead to 2025, expect us to consistently deliver on our consumer value proposition, which has a strong focus on providing exceptional value to our customers. We will prioritize outstanding customer service by refining our product assortment, enhancing our promotional strategies, and communicating our offers effectively. Our commitment to innovation and adaptability will be at the forefront as we navigate the future of retail leadership and ensuring we remain responsive to our customers' needs and the market trends.
Tonya, thank you for taking time to speak with us today, and congratulations on joining the CPGGUYS Omnichannel Hall of Fame.
Thank you so much. Truly honored.
So our first conversation was with Tonya Douglas from the Giant Food division of Ahold Delhaize USA. Our second conversation today is with Doug Jossem. He is head of food for Walmart Connect, the retail media arm of Walmart, the Fortune 1 company. He's been on the podcast before, and we're really pleased to be able to bestow this award upon our dear friend, Doug Jossem. Congratulations. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. Honored and ecstatic to be here. So thank you for the honor. It is something that, I've been a longtime listener. You've had some incredible guests. I'm happy to be one of them, but I'm also just so happy to be receiving this award.
Well, Doug, it's great because you've had a lifetime of contribution to the industry, particularly in the media aspect as we think about retail media and its incredible contribution to the growth of omnichannel. It's not about e-commerce. It truly is about full funnel, and it truly is about both brick and mortar and digital influence wherever a consumer shops. So for that, we wanted to recognize you. A couple of questions as we think about this, and I would like to say and mention, joining us today for this conversation is our dear friend, Jessie Mazur. She is a VP at NielsenIQ working on the Walmart and Sam's Club business. So Jessie, welcome. Welcome to you.
Thanks for having me.
So Doug, let me kick it off. I've got a question. I'll ask Jessie to chime in a second, but you've demonstrated a real lifetime of leadership in this industry. What principles are you anchored on that you feel have served you well in working with clients and supporting the growth of your businesses?
When I first got into leadership many moons ago, there's a few principles that I anchored around. And I start this with my teams, but it also translates over to the supplier world and internally. And 3 main principles that have that equate to one thing that I'll go through. The first is have honest conversations. Honest conversation is not just like, high five, we're doing great, or it's not, you stink at whatever is happening. It's an honest conversation with each other about how to push the business forward together. Let's just be honest with each other and do it. Number 2 is be vulnerable. Look, nobody knows everything and everybody needs help, both with your internal teams and your supplier community and everybody internally and cross-functionally. So just be vulnerable and be open to where you need help or where you don't understand things, and you build that trust, right? Which is super important. And then the third, and the last is be empathetic or lead with empathy, right? We never know who's had a terrible day or what's going on in people's lives. Don't assume bad intent across the aisle and to everyone. And I think that's really those three leadership principles come together and equate to then accountability at the end of the day for me. And it's just been something I've led by.
Yeah, I love what you said about being empathetic. I always use an equivalent term, which is be kind, because you don't know what other people are going through. They don't know what you or I are going through. So making sure you lead with empathy and be kind to the people around you serves you well as a leader and as a collaborator. Jesse, question from you.
Yeah, Doug, as you know, at Nielsen, we've been evolving our products substantially to really fully represent Omni. Can you tell us about how you've embraced the Omnichannel and leadership, and how do you keep up with the learning given all the changes that constantly occur in our industry?
Changes in Omni, get out of here. No, I spend an inordinate amount of time with the merchants and learning just about retail, what they're doing. I go to all the trade events. I try to just listen to as many speakers as possible, be intellectually, or I try to be as intellectually curious as I can about all that are happening. I take tons of meetings with salespeople that pitch me their new ideas and concepts to understand what's going on in the industry. But most importantly, I listen to the CPG guys. I mean, that's where I get all of the information across the board. That's where I get up to speed. But that and all the trade publications as well. So you really have to do this in a fully encompassing approach, so you get all sides of what's happening to stay up to speed. It's really, really important.
All right, currying favor from the CPG guys will always win you extra points. And to that, I want to say proof about going to conferences. For those of you watching on video, I'm holding up the 25 conference badges and associated lanyards that I accumulated over the course of 2024. So I feel your approach and in getting out and talking to people, not just sitting in my office and hoping that I'm going to learn everything by what I'm telling myself. So back to the leadership aspect. What I find interesting, Doug, you have a unique background in so far as your retail media was not where you started. You started in more traditional advertising, and it's now being blended into everyday merchandising with working with the Walmart merchandising teams. What's your advice to others in this space, and how do you advocate working with merchants on building leadership as you engage with your brand clients?
Yeah, I spend an inordinate amount of time with my merchant friends at Walmart, and look, it's a humbling experience coming into the Walmart ecosystem and not necessarily knowing retail. So I just spent a lot of time, again, to my point before about being intellectually curious. I kept my mouth shut, my eyes open, and I had a notebook in front of me, and I just took copious notes. And the more I learned, the more I learned and the more I wanted to know, the more questions I had for them and the more interested they saw that I was in the business, which I genuinely wanted to know. And then the value exchange has to happen. They have to start to then understand, well, the more that I know, what am I bringing to the table to this relationship? We are mutually exclusive, but how is it that they're seeing for the dollars that the suppliers are spending to the increased unit velocity that we can show, and helping them understand the dynamics of it and how this all comes together was extremely important. So again, starting with learning about the industry, becoming an expert in it, and then being able to partner with them has proven to be really, really powerful and an incredible relationship for me and Walmart Connect to foster.
Brilliant. That's really insightful. Thank you. Jesse, why don't you close us out?
Well, Doug, we've really loved getting to work closely with you and the Walmart Connect team over the years. Could you help to tell the audience about Walmart Connect and the retail media leadership? And what can we really expect from you in 2025?
It's a loaded question, Jesse. There's a lot there. Look, I think what you can expect from Walmart Connect into next year is going to be a few things. Number one, we're going to be a pioneer and continue to pave the way with measurement. We have a bunch of incredible enhancements coming, such as search incrementality and other areas. Essentially, what our year is going to be is eliminating any ambiguity that any supplier has about the value that Walmart Connect provides. I don't think there's a lot of question with it right now, but want to make sure that we prove every single point that we're driving sale and volume. I would also say it's going to be a big year. We closed our acquisition with Vizio at the end of last year and last calendar year. And this year, it's going to be about how do we increase our customer touch points outside of just being in the Walmart specific ecosystem to this entire new universe. And you should expect a lot of really cool, fun things for that we'll be building through this year. And just the better ways that we can communicate and connect with our customer base.
Doug, thank you for joining us. We're so incredibly happy to be able to bestow the Omnies Omnichannel Hall of Fame Award for 2024 to you and your continuing and enduring contribution to the growth of Omnichannel. And Walmart Connect is very fortunate to have you helping them advance their cause as well, which fits quite neatly into this entire omnichannel landscape. So thank you very much, and we appreciate talking with you today.
Thank you both. I'm really honored to have this award. So appreciate you both, and look forward to seeing you at one of those 25 to 30 events this year.
Indeed, we will. Jesse, thank you as well. And to our audience, thanks for joining us for the Omnichannel's Hall of Fame 2024 Recipients Award Show. Our third conversation today is with Cely Moreno. She's with PepsiCo, and she's been on the podcast before as part of a collective. This is our first conversation with her one-on-one. It was a great one. We hope you all enjoy it.
We are very excited to present Cely with the 2024 CPGGUYS Omnichannel Hall of Fame Award for a lifetime of leadership in the media space. The part that excites me the most about this winner is a lifetime journey being such a great advocate of media, which means she's touching consumers directly. She's the Senior Director of Omnichannel Marketing and Head of Retail Media Partnerships, an area all too close to what you and I do, retail media. So we are very excited to present Cely with the 2024 CPGGUYS Omnichannel Hall of Fame Award for a lifetime of leadership in the media space. Congratulations, Cely. How you doing?
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me here.
You bet. Cely, while we say 2024, the award is contextual to a lifetime of leadership. And I'd love to ask you, Cely, what are some principles you anchor your everyday on that puts you in a position to lead something as big as retail media partnerships at PepsiCo?
Once again, first of all, Peter, Sri, thank you again for this honor. I really do appreciate it. When I think about my career, I've tried to stay guided by some key principles. The first one that I can think about is leading with empathy, really understanding the needs of others, whether it's my team or my cross-functional partners, or even our customers. I really feel like this has helped me build relationships that have fostered collaboration as well as long-term relationships. The next one I would say is adaptability. The world is constantly evolving, especially with marketing and retail. Staying flexible and open to that change has really allowed me to stay relevant in the marketplace, particularly within all the end-to-end marketing roles that I've done. And it's allowed me to lead especially through uncertainty, And then finally, I would say empowerment for my teams. I believe that empowering others and creating an environment where people feel valued and that their point really matters allows them to do their best work. And at the end of the day, leadership's about uplifting others. So, I try to use these principles to help me navigate the challenges that I get, seize opportunities, as well as create value for both my teams and my customers.
Wonderfully said, Cely, and congratulations on this award. So my question to you is about embracing omni-channel leadership and being able to communicate that through your organization. Particularly, how do you keep up on all of the changes that are taking place and ensure that both you and your team are always learning with all of this rapid transformation?
So omnichannel, this is my absolute favorite subject because it's all encompassing. This is really about seeing the shopper journey holistically, everything from discovery to purchase to post-purchase. And so, what I've tried to do throughout my career is lean into data and insights and understand how these shoppers are moving so seamlessly between brick and mortar and still, online, as well as even now social shopping. So, I try to prioritize continuous learning. That's just the way that I do it, listening to consumers and shoppers, whether it's, their shifting behaviors or their preferences. And I try to do this real time or partnering with my insights partners. Definitely collaborating with partners like you, partners like our media partners, our retailers, and even my brand peers who can help me discuss what potential innovative solutions can look like. And, I think finally for most of us, it's about staying curious. I try to carve out time for thought leadership, whether that's reading industry reports or attending conferences like you guys do. But I try to stay proactive instead of reactive and embrace this change and try to be confident about what's ahead of us.
Peter, she actually said partners like us, we must be important in retail media. What do you think, Peter?
We're legends in our own mind, Shri.
I'll take that, man. So, Cely, we've already kind of said lifetime of leadership, right? Without that, this conversation doesn't happen in the first place. But very specifically in the world you work in, there's this new word that is, even though it's existed for 15 years, it's become important in the last 3-4 years, ever since COVID hit us, which is retail media. You're a marketer, advertising, you already talked about outreach to consumers and staying on top of it. Very eloquently put, what Omnichannel is about is really this new shopper journey. That's 360. But advertising is now blended into retail media. It's causing massive confusion over the last 4 years. Sales owns it, marketing owns it, IMC owns it, agencies don't know what to do. It's like all over the place, right? So what is your advice to just people in the space? And especially, how do you advocate working with, you just named partners, right? It could be media partners, agency partners, RMN partners, brand partners, sales teams. Love to hear your advice.
Yeah. So my advice to others would be, to lead with collaboration and purpose, so this really requires us to truly keep the consumer and the shopper at the center of everything that we do. So when you think about the partners that you're working with, I always advocate for transparent communication up front. Let's set some clear objectives up front and expectations, KPIs, and keep yourself open to dialogue. If you do that and align on KPIs and what your objectives are up front, then it's much easier to address the challenges and opportunities that you're trying to get to. And so the other one that I would say is mutual value creation, right? Retail media thrives on both brands and retailers seeing tangible results and growth. So it's important for us to develop strategies that leverage this partnership, but ultimately it has to grow the categories and the brands that we work on. So that mutual value creation is critical to partnerships. And then finally, I would say we've got to figure out how to continue to foster innovation. Let's encourage partners to experiment and iterate, whether that's through new ad formats or in-store programming, enhanced target capabilities, anything that's out there. New ideas drive growth, and we have to stay true to that. So ultimately, my advice to everyone is stay collaborative and trust the process, but make sure that you lead it with purpose.
I want to emphasize again what you said around joint value creation. I think too often people consider these kinds of activities to be very transactional in nature, and it's not a destination, it's a journey. And to your point, creating value for both equations, and that requires some measure of transparency and honesty, and about here's what I need to be able to give you what you need, and understand that the stakeholders in this equation all have different positions. And there is a way you can get to joint value creation. You just have to work at it. Cely, I'll close this out with, as Shri mentioned, retail media. And we all know how incredibly important it is in the omnichannel digital ecosystem. It's growing at such a rapid rate. What should we be looking for relative to retail media at PepsiCo looking into 2025? Where do you sit in terms of understanding its value in your overall media strategy?
PepsiCo's always been at the forefront of innovation. And at the end of the day, it's because of our commitment to lead with true consumer-centric strategies. So I think what you're going to continue to see from a PepsiCo perspective is to continue to see us drive omnichannel excellence. It's going to be from brick and mortar to e-commerce, but you'll continue to see us connecting all those dots across all the shopper touch points, creating seamless and memorable brand experiences for our consumers with the brands that we proudly love from a PepsiCo perspective. And the industry can continue to see us as a trusted partner, an innovator, and an advocate for growth, always with that shopper need at the center of what we do.
So well said. Today's shopper is 100% digitally influenced. That's how strong we feel about it here on the CPG Guys. Cely, congratulations again. It was an honor to host you on this episode.
Sheree, to close it out, we're going to talk with our dear friend Cara Pratt. We were with her in Las Vegas for CES, where we recorded this vignette. I hope everybody enjoys it, recognizing Cara's contribution to Omnichannel.
Here we are from iconic Las Vegas at CES 2025, and I'm here with Dan Bonard from NielsenIQ. How you doing, man?
Good to be here.
And none other than our favorite hero, the awesome Miss Cara Pratt from none other than Kroger Precision Marketing, 8451. And congratulations, one of the winners of our 2024 Omnichannel Hall of Fame Awards. How you doing?
Thank you so much, Sheree. I'm doing great.
How you doing?
How are you?
Awesome.
Good. Thanks for joining, Dan.
Yeah, glad to be here.
First of all, congratulations, but we've got a couple questions for you whenever you're ready. Good to go?
Let's go.
So, Cara, obviously winning a Hall of Fame award, you've shaped this industry, you shaped advertising well before retail media was born, and now you're one of the true leaders trailblazing retail media as well. That is a lifetime of leadership. So what are some principles that you're anchored on that actually gives you the luxury of being this amazing leader that you are to set standards for the industry?
You're very kind, and it has been just a real privilege to be early on in this industry, looking to shape change and really recognize the power of what retail can do to influence and improve a roughly 30-year young digital industry. And when we set out in October of 2017, we really focused in on accountability. We talked about accountability, we talked about purpose, we talked about business outcomes. And when you're a retailer and you're working with brands, you have a joint commitment to help drive growth and connect with customers in meaningful ways. And so from a business perspective, that's always been at the forefront, influencing decisions. Now, from a business practice standpoint, how do you inspire? How do you lead change? There's a couple tenets that have always been important for me. First really anchors in trust. Yeah. You have to be able to trust your team. You have to be able to trust your partners. You have to be able to live that each and every day, which then dominoes into empowerment, right? Enable people to make decisions, to be bold, to face failure versus fear failure. Recognize we're going to make some mistakes and we're going to just get back up and keep moving forward, but we're going to learn from those mistakes. And then I domino into communication. We're making big decisions and small decisions every single day. And as teams grow, as dynamics change, as visions continue to evolve, it's so important to bring everybody along on that journey and make sure everybody recognizes the power and potential of what they are doing. They are influencing on the front lines. That level of ownership and autonomy is so critical because these businesses grow and these businesses thrive through everybody on the team. Frankly, well more so than anybody that has the privilege to have these conversations and engage at CES with such iconic brands and tech partners and advertisers and agencies. The last thing that is certainly important is creativity and curiosity. these are spaces and places where we have to try new things. We have to recognize what it's not always what's old is new again. Like we have to reframe the old and become better practitioners for the future based on new innovation and new opportunities. So,
are you saying ROAS isn't everything?
It's not everything. It's not everything. Good. So the evolutionary tactics. So trust, empowerment, communication, creativity. Those are real tenets of my leadership style.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, I love that. I think trust is the backbone of your team, your partners, and all of it. And I love your thought around, like, you say win or fail. It's like it's not win or lose. It's win or learn, right?
Yes, I love that.
That's it, right? And so you learn something through failure, and the fact that you embrace that, but that's how you get to where you are today.
Yeah.
So that's awesome to see. And you talk about embracing omnichannel leadership. How do you keep up with the learning, right? This, we're here at CES, and the evolution of this business has been, you talk about 2017 and we're 7 years in, and, I think it changes almost every month what's happening in the market. How do you keep with all the changes in the industry and making sure that what you're doing and what you're putting in place for the team is helping them go where the puck is going?
It's a great question. The reality is no one human can do it. And making sure you've got leaders within the team at all levels, across all levels of specialization, are, again, going back to trust and empowerment. They're at the edge. They're exploring what these new opportunities are. They're assessing new partners. We're pressure testing things day in and day out, and making sure that you continue to live that mantra. You have the right discipline. You have the right stage gates and discovery. That's a really important piece. But for me personally, I'm surrounded by phenomenal talent that is curious. They're connected. They push to the edge. We are learning, and I think we go back to. I think Winston Churchill has a quote of success is not final, failure is not fatal. It's just the push to go on that matters. And I think that's just a premise in this industry and in many others. If you lead with that mindset and you've got great talent around you that's looking for what is the next best thing that's going to impact customers in meaningful ways, good things will happen. Keeping that at the center is something that delivers the right promise, because we're gonna make better decisions.
Right. Oh, I love that. It's great.
Well said indeed, right? Teams matter, people matter. And in that spirit, one of the things that the changes in the industry, or what wasn't yesterday isn't today, kind of the spirit of what you said. One of the things that we've observed in the industry is, with full funnel marketing as prevalent as it is today, merchandising and marketing is actually blending. As a merchant, you now have to understand the digital shopper. You have to understand what impressions actually mean. I chuckle when I say that, but that's the reality. And vice versa, marketers need to now understand how a planogram is built. So in this world of this fast collapsing merchandising and marketing, what do you advocate to the industry? How do you coach merchants, and how do you bring them along with you?
Yeah, I love that question, because if you go back to the very beginning, we at Kroger purposefully kept distance to merchandising. We did that very intentionally, which many people will look at and question. We did that very intentionally because we believe it is so critical in this industry and in this business to earn investment. Yep. We didn't want to feel like a forcing function coming from the brand side. We've gotten to a point where it's a tipping point of incredible amount of investment that's coming through, where we have proven the value, not just through return on ad spend. Of course, you can look at the incremental ROI, you can look at household penetration lift, you can look at LTV. You've got so many other data points that can swing in that are really impactful about identifying really how these dollars, not just within retail commerce assets, but full funnel, how you can connect with people and capture demand, create demand, and convert demand in really special ways. And as you look at how the industry is evolving, there's some organizations that were on the early days, years ago, saying we're not going to have a e-commerce team and a shopper marketing team separate anymore. We're going to bridge those together, and they're going to be omni. Now you get into the next layer of change, and you're looking at organizational design constructs that are really evolving for brands. You're looking at big acquisitions happening in the agency space to kind of accelerate their capability curation. That's all really, really important. But the ability to make sure that brand building and basket building can coexist and these dollars can really impact performance has been important. Back to merchants. Merchants do have a real need to understand and respect the power of investment and how the audience intelligence and audience strategy
can help them as well.
Yeah, can help build categories and be really respectful and help brands win in the right way. And so it's a big education. It's an important education, and it's been really fantastic to see the lean in and interest. And it can start on the commerce side within a retail property. And you've got digital merchandising specialists and core merchants. And when you have those conversations about the digital influence of a buy that happens in a physical brick and mortar store, the wheels start moving. It is. It's been a real journey, very intentional journey for us to have separation and to start to bring in more connection, but maintain that commitment to what's right for the brand. Then we're going to expose the right customers to that. We're going to help build categories, and in that way, everybody wins. So anchoring on the customer stays through and through, and I'll say it's not easy. It's not easy because there is a litany of history and business dynamics and investment strategies. And back to let's stay at the edge. Let's look at modern marketing. This is a part of it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a three-legged stool, right? That we're all sitting on and we're trying to figure out how to make it all work together. So and I love the fact that you think about business outcomes, right? And you drive business outcomes, and merchants are a part of that, but marketing's a big piece of that. And you stand on that. And how you operate your business. So that's it's impressive to see. So we entered 2025. Here we are. Yep, we made it. Tell our audience a little bit about what people can expect from KPM and as we think about this year and maybe what next year looks like from your team.
Yeah, 2025 for us is going to be a nice evolution and extension into the work that we've been very intentional on over the last few years, which is, of course, continuing to improve and bring more signals on Kroger's digital shelf. We will bring sight, sound, and motion onto Kroger's digital shelf. We are ripe to bring that forward. So
wait, you say sight, sound, and motion. That means
video.
Do I bring an umbrella this year to France?
Maybe we should bring an umbrella. But as we think through what's the level of inspiration that can happen in that digital shelf, of course, we've got plans to continue to push the envelope and create net new experiences for customers. That's going to be great. The evolution that we've been on for well more than 3 years into self-serve, offsite, the audience intelligence that we have, how that audience intelligence can influence an agency planner on behalf of brands, how it can go all the way and thread through into the actual channel allocation and buy, the accessibility that we provided first with the Trade Desk and now with Yahoo for advertisers to buy in their seats with their inventory and their rates and their brand safety and suitability controls. That'll all carry forward. And so throughout that process, one of the things that's very much on our mind is simplicity and removing friction. There are a lot of systems. There's a lot of tools. There's a lot of different places and spaces to tap into different audience intelligence and to ultimately action and understand the effectiveness of those impressions. And we believe that we need some more simplicity that starts to shine through. And so that's another space that we are going to be active on with different partners of ours.
So you want to make it easy.
That is the goal. That is the goal.
And in a category in which we make it sometimes more challenging than it has to be. So I'm sure that a lot of our audience will love to hear that.
I, for one, am looking forward to this sight, sound, and motion piece, especially as the year progresses. Dan, thank you for joining me. Cara, congratulations again.
Thank you.
The CPG guys is very proud and honored that you can be the one sitting in the seat and having this conversation with us. I wish you and KPM 8451 an amazing 2025 and much more success to come. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So Sri, there you have it. 4 really great conversations, people that we think are doing a bang up job growing the influence of education and performance in the omnichannel world. What are your thoughts?
No doubt, Peter. I'm very pleased that this year we have a merchandiser, that to a senior merchandiser of Centerstore at a large division of ADUSA. I encourage all, step up the omnichannel game, step up your retail media game, step up your click and collect, be part of this. We want to recognize you, and hopefully you'll be one of the 4 in the industry this upcoming year, 2025, as December swings by. But congratulations to the 4 that did win this year. My hat's off to you. You are true lifetime achievers that have made a difference in the industry.
Real captains of the industry. Wouldn't you agree, Shri?
Of course, Peter, captain, hats off.
Absolutely. And Shri, we're already on to thinking about who are going to be the 2025 winners. So our job is never done. There is no rest. The journey continues. And thank you for being on it with me, Shri.
You bet, Peter. And now let's close out this episode for our audience.
Thank you for joining us. And both Shri and I look forward to speaking with you on the next episode of the CPG Guys podcast. Goodbye. The content in this podcast episode is provided for general informational purposes only. By listening to our episode, you understand that no information contained in this episode should be construed as advice from CPG Guys LLC or the individual author, hosts, or guests, nor is it intended to be a substitute for research on any subject matter. Reference to any specific product or entity does not constitute an endorsement or recommendation by CPG Guys LLC. The views expressed by guests are their own, and their appearance on the program does not imply an endorsement of them or any entity they represent. The views expressed by CPG Guys LLC do not represent the views of their employers or the entity they represent. CPG Guys LLC expressly disclaims any and all liability or responsibility for any direct, indirect, incidental, special, consequential, or other damages arising out of any individual's use of, reference to, or inability to use this podcast or the information we present in this podcast.